Welcome back, everybody. This is another edition of our practice, which is called Postscript. It's a way for us to kind of unpack and maybe think a little bit more about our service on Sunday. As many, if not all of you know, this last Sunday was Advent 1, the first Sunday of Advent, which is a season of waiting. We wait with anticipation. We wait with uncertainty. And one thing that I believe often gets overlooked is that Advent can be a quite difficult time because waiting is hard for us as humans, but it can become especially difficult for us when so much is happening that weighs us down, that burdens us, interpersonally, locally, internationally. There are things happening in our world which I believe not one of us is happy about. And that's an understatement. We are actually extremely disheartened, perhaps even at times feeling a touch of despair, because despite our best efforts, war continues to be the preferred route to accomplish objectives. And we as people of faith hope for peace, we work for peace, and we strive for a peaceful world, a just and peaceful world where everyone has opportunities to experience abundance and freedom and community and belonging. During our service this last Sunday, as some of you will know and recollect, there was a phrase that was uttered as a part of the reading. It was not part of the design of our worship service, but the person doing the reading felt compelled to make this statement. And that person's intentions were wholly about supporting people who are suffering and marginalized. But what we as a community of faith have to do is to always consider the impact that our words will have, especially on those in our midst who might hear certain words we say and feel unsafe. Here I want to make an important distinction. There is a difference between being unsafe and being uncomfortable. Sometimes in church, especially if you come hear me speak very often, you might be made to feel a little uncomfortable. Maybe something has been provoked in you. Maybe something is said that you don't know what to feel about. When you feel that level of discomfort, my invitation is to think about why you are feeling uncomfortable. If you reach a place where you think you have some kind of answer about what might make you feel uncomfortable, I am always here. I know other leaders in the church are here as well, but I would love to have that conversation with you. In fact, I think as a community of faith, it's an important conversation for us to have going forward. We at FSA feel not prideful, but thankful that we get to take certain stances that many churches would feel are bold. Right? We get to do things because we feel called by God to do them, right? We want to walk in the footsteps of Jesus, and that means taking some bold stances. And yet, there is a distinction between uncomfortable and unsafe. The vast majority of people in our sanctuary don't necessarily feel unsafe by anything that happens. However, if we don't choose our words wisely, and that includes in some of the scripture passages that we read from, and some of the songs we sing, the prayers we utter, if we don't think about how what we say can impact others in the sense of making them feel unsafe and unwelcomed, then we must reconsider. Because regardless of intent, the second we say certain things and it gets out there, we no longer have control over how people are going to hear that. We all bring our own experiences, our own paths into that space on a Sunday morning. And again, it is not about intent. It is about the hearing of these words. And so we constantly, that is Chris Fisher, myself, and all the others involved in creating Sunday service, we are constantly at work trying to do what we can to choose, select, curate, and edit as needed this worship experience so that it speaks to our affirming stance, so that it speaks to our commitment for interfaith relations and right relations and just relations. We are imperfect. We all are. But our goal is nevertheless to create the most extravagantly welcoming and radically hospitable space we can. This is not a statement that is intended to condemn. It is not a statement that is intended to police what people think, feel, or say. We all have valid feelings. We have thoughts, opinions that are either greatly substantiated or not well substantiated. I have both. But in that time together on a Sunday morning, it is important for the purpose of something bigger than any one of us that we measure and think about how we say what we say, because it will have greater impact than we can ever intend or imagine. That's part of the responsibility of a faithful community. We know we're participating in something that's bigger than any one time and one place. We know that we're participating in a story that began a long time ago and, God willing, will continue. Our hope is that it is a story that is moving towards justice, that is moving toward a world where all can live with a sense of abundance and belonging. We know that world is not here right now and that it is up to us to work towards it. So I affirm everyone's commitment to helping build that world. My encouragement for everyone today, as you hear this, is to think about not just this last Sunday, but all Sundays. Think about all the ways in your week where you use language, sometimes without thinking, and how that language can impact, can make people feel unseen, unheard, and unwelcomed. A philosopher that I quite enjoy reading once wrote that words bear worlds. Words bear worlds. That means the words we utter carry within them worlds of expression and experience, beyond what you and I can even know. So there's a great responsibility on us to choose our words wisely, and certainly on a Sunday morning where there are a lot of different people coming together with a lot of different experiences. We have to be mindful of that. It is hard. It is difficult. Faith is not easy, nor is a worship service easy to help emerge that can speak to everybody. But it's a beautiful responsibility, and it's a joy, and it's a gift. It's an honor. I hope that we can all continue on this journey as we have so far, and that each of us will consider this week a way in which we are being called to learn more about any situation, to think about the way we are speaking, thinking, and being with one another, because I do believe in what we are called to do here. And I'm so thankful for all of you being on this journey, because we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to work for that world that you and I want to exist. And in order to do that, we have to have these honest conversations and these renewed commitments to affirmation. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to having you here with me next week to talk about our sermon.